Let's go. All right, hey guys, welcome to the Pod Place community call. Today I want to talk about some really cool stuff. A lot of people run into this challenge is how to monetize your podcast or monetize your content. In today's call, we're really going to talk about the 4 major ways to monetize your podcast. And if you guys need help with that or however we could help, we have some really cool stuff. I'll mention it at the end of this call. But the 4 major ways to monetize your podcast is what we're going to focus on today. So, sorry, I'm like looking at here, seeing if anyone's in the chat. What's up, chat? Okay, so number 1, we'll start with the hardest way to do it. Number 1 way to monetize your podcast, and this is what people think is the most popular or the easiest way. It's actually the hardest and the longest and the least pay. So number 1 is ad buying. So like YouTube paying or Instagram paying or TikTok paying. TikTok actually surprisingly pays really well, and so does Snapchat. But this is just getting paid for your views. So the reason why it's not the best on YouTube specifically is because it takes a long time to get monetized. I've been trying for 2 years very strategically to get monetized, and I'm about halfway there. I should probably make better content, but it's going. And what's cool about once you start getting your YouTube content into the algorithm, it continues to stream and get plays indefinitely. So I get like 300 to 500 plays a day, which is not like superstar, rock star numbers or anything, but it's pretty cool to look at it like every day that there's like 5 more watch hours that I'm closer to being monetized. So it's a really cool thing. Once you get it rolling, it continues to compound and you go faster. So that's the longest way, and really how to do it on YouTube specifically is you just have to make searchable content, evergreen content, these terms, pretty much like keyword content that people are going to continuously search for. So how to do a live stream like this, or how to wash a car, or how to do powder coating, or how to connect something on Zoom, right? Like all the things that you check regularly on your YouTube to search. If you make that type of content, you'll really stand out. So for podcasting, you want to answer questions that your audience might have, and that way that you could get that evergreen content stream. So just something to consider when you're making content or doing your podcast if you want to monetize it, and if you want to kind of fit into the niche and monetize your views specifically. There's definitely a method to do that. If you guys have questions on it, especially in the community, and because the community is growing and there's only a handful of you guys in here, I'm very accessible to you guys. So send me a message, make a post, create a comment, and I'll get back to you. This is the access to one-on-one coaching with me personally. So take advantage of that by all means. Okay, number 2 way to make money from your podcast or your content is affiliate links. So this way is super underrated, but it actually makes a ton of money. And especially with nowadays, here's a secret code, guys, is there's a lot of AI companies throwing out an insane amount of money to get users on their platform. So that's a really good person or people to partner with, and you don't actually have to be like physically sponsored by them. All you have to do is reach out to them and get an affiliate link, but you could mention it in your content, like, hey, I use this really cool AI tool, and you could use it and offer your affiliate code below in the description. And these AI companies are paying big bucks, but you could do it on any scale. Like on all of my YouTube videos, I have Amazon affiliate excuse me. Sorry, I just had breakfast. On all of my content, we have Amazon affiliate codes for all the gear we basically use in the studio. And what's cool about Amazon specifically is even if they don't buy your stuff, but if they click through on Amazon and they go around and they shop on whatever, but because they click through on your Amazon link, anything they buy, you actually get commission on. So I get surprising commissions every, now and then, a couple $100 or $100 or $50 just gets deposited into my account. And I'm like, what the heck? Where did this come from? And it's just from random views and random affiliate. So affiliate marketing on your YouTube or on your content is a very, very good way to make a lot of money. I had a YouTuber who was making decent money YouTubing. I forget his handle or his name, but it was a clothing company. and he was early in the game. Like, he was making content. He's been doing it full time for like 10 years, something like that. I met him here at the studio. He came by. He was a guest on a podcast. And this guy, he was doing, again, decent money on just his views. And so he was talking about Shopify specifically because he was using that tool and he loved it for his brand, and he was building like a clothing brand. He just loved the tool. So he'd make a ton of YouTube content about it. So Shopify reached out to him and was like, hey, you should use our affiliate marketing program. Like, you could make a bunch of cash on it. And he was like, is it worth it? Whatever. Like, it doesn't, I'm like indifferent. He wasn't super motivated. So then the Shopify representative told him, like, hey, we've analyzed your content and we think that basically you're missing out on $40,000 a month in commission revenue from your content. So that was a substantial amount. So anyways, he started doing it and he started crushing it with that. And that was a few years ago. I'm sure, I don't know what the terms and conditions have changed, but point of the story is there's always a niche, there's always a software, there's always something that you could talk about, especially if it has to do with your business, where you can implement referral program and do well with it. So I get a lot of people reaching out on my YouTube channel about marketing content. So like Go High Level, different CRMs and stuff that want me to talk about their product. And sometimes they'll pay you for to make the video up front, and sometimes they'll just have an affiliate code. So if you have time and you're making content and you want to monetize your content, the affiliate way is definitely a good way to go about it. So that's number 2. Number 3 is sponsorships. So sponsorship deals, which require a little bit more finesse, and sometimes your channel has to have some traction, unless some people, super believe in you. But I've been here, like, I play podcasts for my daughter, like kids reading stories or whatever, and there's literally like personal injury attorneys advertising on those podcasts, and they're not like advertising through Spotify. They're advertising because I pay for the Spotify. So I don't get ads, but they're advertising on people's actual podcast and have their ad running, which is, I think it's super brilliant. So find industries, like, again, AI or software companies, personal injury attorney, dentists, real estate people, anyone who's willing to sponsor your content. It's a great niche. It's a great avenue. It takes a little bit of elbow grease. You're going to have to make a lot of cold calls. You're going to have to reach out to people. You're going to have to sell them on your vision. You're going to have some proof of concept. You're going to have something to sell them on. But sponsorships, I've been able to see do really, really well, which is incredible. It's an incredible way. If you get a little bit creative, you could get sponsorship to cover your podcast costs, to make a little bit of profit. There's a guy who records at the studio. I won't name names, but he gets a ton of sponsorships, and he actually is in the Las Vegas. His show streams on NBC after the Tonight Show on Saturdays, I believe, or whatever night the Tonight Show is on. So late night variety show, and he gets a ton of sponsorships on that, and it funds not only all his content that he does, but I'm sure he makes a margin on it. And it's a great, he has a great time doing it. So I'm sure there's more than like monetary motivations why he does it. But if your dream is to make content for a living and do content and, really capitalize on it, then that's a great opportunity. It's a great way to do it. So, yes. So sponsorships. That's one way. Again, you have to get creative on that. There's no like blueprint on how to do it. But you could definitely get creative. You could definitely make some money that way. And number 4, which I think is honestly the most important and the most reasonable and the easiest, because all these other ways, especially sponsorships, right, you're going to be held accountable by somebody. Somebody's going to want some results, like something tangible. Anybody hands you anything, they're going to expect something in return. So, keep that in mind. Affiliate links, same, like, the traffic. You're contingent on other people to pay you, and you have to set up all your payments and your W-9s and all that stuff. And then views, obviously, it takes time. So all of the other ways are great. There's just a bit of a process, and they take time. Where number 4, which I think is the best one, is really just making content for your product or service or business and utilizing it to basically maximize your business. So if you're doing a podcast, it's a great way to have prospects come on, have conversations, build relationships with them. Or if you're just doing straight up content to the audience, it's a great way for you to answer questions for the product or the service. It's a great way to talk about FAQs. And really, it's just a funnel. Like if you think of top of funnel organic content, it's the best way to bring people into your ecosystem and serve them. So, I mean, for some of you guys, you don't have a business or a product or a service, and these other 3 ways might be the best for you, because also there's no pressure on operations. When you're running a business and you create a bunch of business to come in, now you have operations and teams and all the people you have to deal with. But the other ways, like affiliate money, views money, it's all straight to the dome. It's all profit. There's no operation cost. It just comes in and you just collect the cash, which again, maybe that sounds more attractive to you. But for me, just maybe because I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a little bit biased. But to me, I think that the best way to really capitalize on your content is to have a product or service, and you become known for that, right? Like if you're a contractor and you're always making videos at your job sites or contracting or plumbing, I see this landscape guy who's crushing it, and he's going viral left and right. I can't even remember the name of it, but he was at Hermosi's workshop. So it doesn't really matter what business or what service or what you're doing. Today's day and age, social media is not really social media anymore. It's just straight up media. Like people are consuming it like more than TV. I guarantee you people are watching social media and on their phones way more often than they watch TV or shows or any other things. Or even when they are watching TV and shows, like nowadays people are on their phone while they have like TV on the background. And so I saw the craziest thing at the airport. I saw a young kid, he had to have been like middle school or something, and he was watching YouTube on his iPad, like fast forwarding it at 2 times speed, and then he was like on TikTok on his other phone, just like freaking crushing it. So I'm not saying that this is you, but the younger generation is definitely consuming content at a crazy level. So, keep that in mind when you're doing content. And so when you're making content for your business, if you're going to invest into it, just try to structure it to where you'll get a return on investment. There's this great guy, I forget his name, Caleb, I think, or something. And, he grew Hermosi's content system. He grew Gary Vee from like 100K to 3 million, something like that. He's come by the studio a few times. Great dude. He has his whole content strategy, and he's a great guy to follow or go through his programs. He has a full course for free. I can't remember his name, but if you look up Caleb in like social media, you'll find him. But he talks about like, do not expect your personal brand to really have any significant like yield and hardcore returns for like 3 to 5 years. You really have to put in work on the organic side. Now, if you want to invest in media marketing, that's a whole different metric, and you could definitely create a return for your business with content a lot quicker, systematically. But if you're just, trying to figure out how to monetize your content, those are the 4 best ways. And you guys are very in a unique position. I know a lot of people aren't showing up to the calls yet, and it's my fault. I was 10 minutes late today anyway. So, but these calls are going to become more prominent, and we're going to share them more. Maybe we'll shift the time where it's more accessible for people. But what I'm really excited about the community, and we go back to the sponsorship deals, we've produced over 5,000 podcasts up to this point in time, and we're going to continue to keep producing. We have 2 more locations opening. So we're doing Arizona and Detroit, which again is exclusive for you guys to know in the community. But we produce a lot of content. And so because of that, we have leveraged 2 sponsors where we could collect and broker sponsorship deals. So just to give you an example, if we collaborate with the brand, and let's say we make a deal for $10,000, basically our plan is to bring that $10,000 of basically investment on to be featured on whoever wants to take it as a podcaster. And again, right now, at this moment of this recording, there's only 60 of you people in this community. So if all 60 of you guys wanted to take the $10,000 and make content about it or feature them on your podcast or XYZ, whatever, it's a great opportunity that we're going to facilitate for you guys to be able to monetize your podcast. It's a big plan that we have, and we're going to continue to keep growing this community. So those are my 4 ways. Again, this is maybe we'll save this later for people to show, like, you have to keep pursuing your dreams. Right now, this is a live PodPlace community call, and there's not a single soul on this call except for me. But again, I anticipate people watching this playback in the future. And then also, we could run this video back a year from now when there is nobody on here and showcase that the growth and the progression we've had. So don't ever be discouraged if you feel like no one's watching. It doesn't really matter. You need to do it for yourself and become the person you want to become in order to create your goals, dreams, and desires. And so stay consistent, stay persistent, and you'll get there eventually. So thank you guys for tuning into this call, and we'll see you next week. Bye, guys.